A nurse who was known to enjoy playing God and being controlling, in the long run, killed 7 babies in the course of her stay at Countess of Chester Hospital. Let's dive into the case of serial killer Lucy Letby. Lucy Letby was born on January 4, 1990. She is the only child of a finance manager and an accounts clerk. Letby was raised in Hereford and received education at Aylstone School and Hereford Sixth Form College. According to a friend who had known her since secondary school, she was extremely grateful to the nurses who had helped save her life during her difficult birth. According to the friend, this experience inspired her to pursue a career in nursing. She dedicated her life to achieving this goal, and everything she did was focused on becoming a nursey. Letby studied nursing at the University of Chester and worked as a student nurse for 3 years. She completed her training at placements at Liverpool Women's Hospital and the Countess of Chester Hospital. Letby was the first person in her family to attend university, and she completed her studies in September 2011. My friend described her as someone who is a bit socially awkward and has a geeky personality. She started her career as a registered nurse at the neonatal unit of the Countess of Chester Hospital in 2012. In a staff profile from 2013, she mentioned that her role involved taking care of different babies who needed different levels of support. She also stated that she found joy in witnessing their progress and providing support to their families. Letby participated in a fundraising campaign for a new neonatal unit at the hospital. The parents observed that Letby was cheerful and talked openly about her personal life, including mentioning that she was single and content with being single. Letby had 2 training placements at Liverpool Women's Hospital, one in late 2012 and another in early 2015. These placements were investigated after her conviction. In June 2016, consultants requested that management suspend her from clinical duties while they investigated her behavior. In April 2016, the unit's ward manager changed her schedule from working night shifts to working day shifts. She joined the patient experience team in July 2016 and was later transferred to the Risk and Patient Safety Office. She worked there until her arrest in 2018. Some of her murder cases on June 8, 2015, the first suspicious case happened. Letby was assigned as the nurse to care for a healthy baby boy who was a twin at 8 o'clock in nursery 1 on the ward. The pediatric registrar had left when Letby began her night shift, and she had been working for 30 minutes before the boy was delivered to her. After waiting 26 minutes, she contacted an ambulance since the baby's condition was getting worse. After less than 90 minutes of Letby's shift, the baby passed away. The pediatric registrar later testified that it was a big surprise and completely out of the blue and very upsetting when she learned of the child's death the next day after returning to work. Revealed no indications of any issues all day. He was doing fine. I was not at all worried about him or his twin sister. A different nurse said that she did not step in when she initially observed Letby standing over the infant's incubator when the baby started to deteriorate. The nurse, however, intervened after realizing he wasn't getting better while under Letby's care. Child A's twin sister, Child B, unexpectedly fell and required resuscitation around 28 hours after Child A passed away. Before the baby's unexpected fall, the parents, who had spent the day with Child B in the nursery after Child A died, were convinced to leave and go to bed. Later, tests revealed the infant had loops of gas-filled intestines. It was eventually determined that the infant had received an air injection as a result. The infant had been fed by Letby 25 minutes before their collapse, and the fact that the child displayed the identical strange skin rash that was originally noticed on Child A just hours previously suggested that it had also been injected with air. A few days later, Child C, a healthy boy, passed away. As soon as another nurse left the nursery, he unexpectedly passed out. Letby was seen standing over his monitor as his alarm went off when the other nurse walked back in, despite not being the designated nurse for the child. The shift manager later testified that she had to repeatedly yank Letby away from the family room while Child C died despite having previously instructed her to concentrate on her assigned patient. His parents then remembered a nurse, whom they eventually identified as Letby, who brought in a ventilator basket and asked them to place their child in it even though he was still alive. Child D, a newborn girl, died on June 22, 2015, after collapsing 3 times in the early hours. The girl's complexion was darkened, which was observed by those who tried to save the youngster. A striking line of gas in front of the spine was visible on a post-mortem X-ray, which was compatible with air being pumped into the patient's circulation. Such a discovery could not be explained by natural causes, a doctor later testified. Hours before the baby passed away, the mother had noticed Letby hovering around the family. On July 2nd, a doctor voiced his concerns regarding the unexpected fatalities and collapses. Nothing was done to punish Letby. For a month, no suspicious cases were reported. When a mother entered the facility on August 4th to give her infant son, youngster E, his milk, Letby was reportedly in the middle of attacking the youngster. She discovered Letby nearby, faffing around, not doing anything, and trying to look busy but not actually doing anything, while the infant was agitated and bleeding from the mouth. The boy later passed away from a deadly bleed, which was thought to be the cause of death in addition to the air injection. Blood flecks were seen in his vomit. The following evening, Letby was caring for an infant in nursery 2, while caring for child E's identical twin, child F. Child F experienced an abrupt dip in blood sugar and an increase in heart rate at 1:54 in the morning. The youngster was saved, and a blood test later showed that an extremely high dose of exogenous insulin had been given to him, even though he had never needed it. There was no justification for giving the baby insulin, as no infant on the ward had been prescribed it at the time. In a closed refrigerator near a nurse's station, the insulin was kept. Later, during the trial, Letby did not deny that the baby had been purposefully given an insulin injection, implying that someone else must have done it. In the weeks and months that followed, Letby used social media to look up the parents of children E and F. After a year-long investigation, police detained Letby on July 3, 2018, on suspicion of 8 murders and 6 attempted murders. After Letby's arrest, officers searched her Chester house. A second place Letby had worked, Liverpool Women's Hospital, was added to the investigation after Letby's arrest. Since her conviction, police have started investigating Letby's whole professional history, including her time at Liverpool Women's Hospital. Letby was granted bail on July 6, 2018, as the police completed their investigations. The surprisingly substantial amount of document evidence discovered at Letby's residence needed to be reviewed, which took some time. Her diaries contained what looked to be a code made up of different colored asterisks that indicated noteworthy occurrences during the inquiry. On June 10, 2019 and November 10, 2020, she was detained once more in connection with 8 alleged baby killings and 9 alleged baby murder attempts. She was granted bail in 2019 because more time was required to gather evidence and make sure it was as solid as possible before charges could be filed. In the course of the investigation, thousands of exhibits were produced, 16,571 of which were not even used as evidence, and some of them were hundreds of pages in length. When 3 more attempted murder cases were discovered in 2019, Letby was arrested and released on bail. Since Letby had been found to have written extensively about the case upon her arrest in 2018, detectives were interested in seeing if she had written anything else during the year that she was being investigated. Letby was charged on November 11, 2020, with 8 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder. She was kept in jail by the police after being denied bail. After reviewing the information the force had gathered, the Crown Prosecution Service was persuaded to agree to all of the charges Cheshire Constabulary requested against Letby. She disproved all 22 of the accusations against her and put the fatalities down to hospital sanitation and staffing level. The Nursing and Midwifery Council suspended Letby indefinitely on March 13, 2020. Letby remains suspended from our register, and we will now move forward with our regulatory action. Seeking to strike her off the register, the Nursing and Midwifery Council's Chief Executive and Registrar Andrea Sutcliffe declared on August 18, 2023. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more interesting crime videos.